my name is Elizabeth. I'm going to be taking care of you today. Before we do anything, I just want to go over a little bit of paperwork with you. I just want you to look at this intake form and just make sure all the information is correct.
Yeah, everything looks fine.
Okay. And the next piece of information that we are going to go over is your client's right, or the client's rights. You do have certain rights while you're in here, and if at any point these rights are violated, you can always call the administrator, and the number is listed below right here. So I'm just going to go over a couple of these. If you have any questions at all, just stop me and ask to have them explained a little bit more.
Okay.
So the first one is you have the right to a high standard of care and service. You have the right to be treated with courtesy, respect, and dignity. You have a right to be informed of all the services available to you. You have a right to review your records by submitting a written request to our administrator. You have a right to make suggestions and changes to your treatment plan. You have a right to discontinue or transfer services at any time. You have a right to receive care that is specific to your needs despite any physical limitations or language barriers. And you also have a right to report any concerns or problems to an administrator. So if you agree with all these rights, you just need you to sign below. And the next document that we're going to go over is the limits of confidentiality document. Everything that me and you talk about in here is confidential, but there are some exceptions to this rule. And I'm just going to go over the three exceptions. The first one is if you report information about a child being physically or sexually abused or neglected, I am a mandated reporter and I will have to report it to the Department of Social Services. Another one is if you report any information about an adult being abused or neglected, I also will have to report that to the Department of Social Services. And then the last one is if you are at risk of harming yourself or anybody else, police officials will have to be called, and also the individual that you are threatening to hurt. Okay. So as long as you understand and agree with those, you can sign that.
Yeah. Sounded pretty clear.
So let's just start off about you telling me about why you're here today.
Okay, well, I've just been really stressed out about college and my schoolwork, and I'm just having a lot of trouble just adjusting to all the pressures of college. This is my first time being away from home. I'm not used to being on my own, being independent. I'm an only child, and, I live with my parents, and they were really protective and sheltered me a lot. And so, when I was growing up, I really didn't make a lot of my own decisions. They just always did everything for me. So, I'm just not used to, paying my own bills and, doing laundry and just basically just living on my own as an adult. It's just been really hard for me to adjust.
Okay. So you did mention a lot about, being with your parents and your childhood. So why don't you tell me a couple of your favorite memories from your childhood?
Well, we would always go on vacations. We usually, always went to Ocean City, and, that was just really fun. My childhood was just, just carefree. I didn't have a care in the world because my parents would always they could basically just give me whatever I wanted. So, I never had to worry about anything or just think about or stress about anything. They always just provided me with whatever I needed. And from what I remember, it was just a really carefree and happy time.
Okay. And what about your friends throughout high school? How was that relationship?
I had a few really close friends throughout high school.
Okay.
And for fun we would just go shopping or go to the movies or just hang out at each other's houses, just do things like that. But it just seems like at college all people want to do is just drink and party and just do stuff like that. And I'm not really comfortable with doing those things. I'm not, into that, so I don't really feel like I fit in with all the other kids at school. And all my close friends are at different colleges, so I just feel like I'm alone and I don't have anyone to relate to.
Okay. And what about your roommate? What kind of stuff does she do for fun?
She likes, to go out to frat parties and things like that. And, she's nice. She's not too crazy. But, she's definitely a partier. And, she asks me, she tries to include me but I just tell her, that I have to study or that I'm busy because I don't want her to think that I'm weird if I tell her that, I'm not comfortable with that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I know that you did express some concern about missing classes and your grades. So what kind of, are your grades average? Are they bad? Or what kind of concern do you have about that?
Well, I'm not failing. I'm getting C's, but I know that I can do better because when I was in high school, I got mostly A's and B's. And I'm trying to study. I just can't concentrate because I'm so stressed out and just always thinking about home. And so I'm just stressed out and I can't sleep well. And so because I'm not sleeping well, I'm missing classes and it's just like an endless cycle, I feel like.
Okay. And what do you do when you are missing classes or you can't concentrate on studying? What are some things that you find yourself doing?
Sometimes I'll just, get on my computer and just watch Netflix, or I'll just get on on Facebook and just look at what all my friends are doing, and just try to do stuff that reminds me of home, just to take my mind off of, all the problems that I'm having.
And did you ever think about maybe going for a walk or going to the gym at your university just to clear your mind?
I haven't thought about doing that much, but I would be open to it. I like the campus. There's a lot of, fun things to do on campus. I'm just still getting used to it. I'm not a very outgoing person. And I feel like, if I had friends that I could relate to, I would, be more likely to do those things.
Okay. So are there anything around you at your campus that may interest you? Any type of clubs or activities that spark your eye?
There's a few church groups that I've been thinking about joining, and I play the piano, so I've been thinking about joining a music group. But I've just been so worried about my schoolwork that I feel like I shouldn't be doing that stuff right now. I should be trying to focus more on school.
Right.
But that's something that I would be open to.
Okay. Well, I definitely understand your concern about focusing on school, but it does seem like that since you feel left out at college, that's why you're not focusing on your school and you do miss home. So maybe getting into the piano club or the music club might, you might meet some new friends and possibly you could ask your roommate to go along with you and just see what she says, just to, see if anything comes from that.
Yeah, she seems nice, so she would probably go with me.
Okay, all right. And have you ever noticed any anxiety issues in the past, or?
Not really. I've never really had any issues with anxiety before because, I didn't really have to worry about anything when I was living with my parents because they just, took care of everything.
Right. Okay. And about how far away is your college from your home?
It's about 3 hours.
Okay. All right. And do you feel like you want to be more independent without your parents, or would you rather just be at home and rely on your parents?
I would definitely be, more comfortable being at home, but I feel like, I am growing up, so there does need to come a time where,
Okay.
I need to be more independent. Obviously, I don't want to, cut all ties with them.
Right.
But I do need to, leave the nest and become, more self-sufficient.
Okay. And do you mind telling me about what made you choose this college that you currently are going to?
It just seemed like it had, a really good school program, and I got a scholarship, so that's, one of the main reasons why I went there, just scholarship and academic-wise.
And were there any other colleges that were, in running competition with the one you're at now, or?
Not really. I didn't really apply to that many colleges. My parents, they wanted me to. I didn't really want to apply to that many more because I was nervous about, going away to college in the first place.
Okay.
But, I only applied to a few.
Okay. And do your teachers or professors express any concern about you not showing up, or?
Yeah, they've emailed me, because in some of my classes, the professors don't care if you miss class, but some of them have, stricter policies. So some of them have been emailing me and asking, if there's anything wrong and telling me, that my assignments are late.
Okay.
And, I just try to explain to them that, I'm just trying to do the best I can. I'm just trying to adjust, but of course they don't really understand because they expect you to,
Okay.
just suck it up and act like an adult.
So how does that make you feel when they don't seem to understand?
It just makes me feel like alone, even more alone. But then it also makes me feel bad because I feel like, I'm doing something wrong.
Right. Okay. Have you ever thought about possibly joining a study group where you can, focus on your studies but also possibly make some new friends?
I haven't thought about that, but that's something I'd definitely be open to.
Okay. So throughout the next couple sessions that you and I are going to have, I do want to go over some goals and that you would like to achieve. So what is something that you would like to see a difference in your life?
Definitely being less homesick, just being more comfortable on my own and at school. So I
Okay.
guess just feeling comfortable and satisfied living on my own.
Okay. And so would a sufficient goal be becoming more independent with things?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely a goal that we could work towards.
Okay. And some tasks that I would like you to work on is how often do you feel like you are calling home per day?
Several times a day,
Okay.
at least 3 times or more.
Okay. So do you think there's possibly a way that we could limit that? Maybe you could Skype with, do you have Skype on your computer?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you think that you could possibly Skype with your family and friends maybe twice a week so that you're actually seeing them face to face instead of just talking on the phone with them?
Yeah, that would be a little hard to get used to, but I'm willing to, give it a try.
Okay. All right. And we also talked about joining a study group to become more focused on school, and so that's one of the things that I would like you to possibly look into for our next session. And the next goal that I would want to go over is living a more positive social life, because you did express that you want to make friends and you want to be involved, but you just don't necessarily know how to go about it.
Yeah.
So we talked about joining a club that you'd be interested in, maybe the music club or a church youth group. So that is also something that I would want you to look into before our next session.
Okay.
And then another thing that I'm just going to suggest is when your roommate asks you if you want to go somewhere, or possibly even ask her and just say, well, I want to do something instead of drinking or going out and partying, and see what she says. If she's, okay going along with it, then maybe you guys can go out to dinner or go get some ice cream and just talk and get to know one another and stuff like that. So those are some things that I want you to work on, and then just let me know what you found with the clubs and the study group, and we can go from there in our next session.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you for being here today, and I enjoyed meeting you.
Me too. Thanks.
All right. Thanks.